Right, hello everyone, it is me, DJK, back to say hello. Right, today I've got a bit of a different video for you. I'm in the new Audi A1, coincidentally, which I'm looking to buy if anyone wants to do me a good deal. And I've seen loads of videos on this. A lot of them are to do with the car itself, how it drives, how it performs. That's not really what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is what I care about, which is the technology and the sound within the vehicle. So I'm going to go over that a little bit today. I've had it for a morning and I've driven to work. So it's going to be a little bit of a kind of first impressions about what there is and about kind of what you can do with it, because not many people really touch on it very well. So I just want to go over it a little bit and see what you guys think. So let's get started, shall we? Right, so the first thing that I should mention is we are in the S-Line model now. As you can kind of see, this is what the inside looks like, with the digital dash there and obviously the touch screen display here. Now obviously this car has got the advanced air conditioning system as well as the stop start. So let's get it started, shall we? Now obviously first thing you notice is the display here. So if we just go in a little bit closer there, hopefully that works okay there. So obviously we can do some quite cool things with this. We can change, we just say okay to that. We can change what's going on with this. We can have a look at our statistics and everything that's going on. Now, as well, obviously we can shuffle across with all our various menus. This does have the virtual dash package, which doesn't just give you the digital view you've got now, but it does give you the full view here. So as you can see, you've got the Google Maps on there, which shows you where I am at work. Technically, I'm off-road in the car park here. But it gives you those options, and then again you can zoom in and zoom out like you would expect on this. And if I was to do navigation, that would give you those full views there. If I was to press on the steering wheel here, I've got the view and the move across button. So if I press the view, that will obviously change how the map looks and how it does there. Again, I can still kind of zoom in and out using this toggle wheel here. And then again, I can change a few details about how that displays there. Now if I go back out of that, so again I can kind of see my audio here and a few decent details about this here. Now obviously if I was to, I'm in park now, so if I was to rev the car up a little bit, you can see over here the rev meter moving around like you'd expect it to. It's quite responsive, it's quite reactive. So if I was to change this to be into reverse, neutral, into drive, it happens pretty much as soon as I tell it to. And again, we can have a look at the speed in a moment, but everything here works as you would expect it to do. Now, if we come across, we have got the actual display here. So obviously I just put it in reverse here, so we've got the display sensor here. If we put it back into reverse, which is in now, obviously it gives us those lines there while it's trying to reverse for me. So it gives us that. We can see if I turn the steering wheel, it gives me the pattern in which I'm going to move and allows us to kind of predict and know where we're going there. Pretty standard these days on a lot of cars, but still a very helpful thing that not many of the original A1s had. If we look at the menu here, we're on the car menu at the moment, and we can do some pretty interesting stuff with it. Audi Drive Select, of course, we've got the various modes here. If we go into individual, it does allow us to change how that reacts. So do we want a balanced steering, or do we want efficient steering, or how does the car react to us? Again, this touchscreen is very responsive, very easy to use. Even when you're driving, I found I might have been staring at it a little bit more than I would want to, just while I'm trying to get used to it. However, it is very intuitive, and it won't take you long before you get used to what you're looking at. Obviously, if we look at the AC, it's got a few options here, but obviously the AC is mainly controlled down here, where we can do, obviously, change this. Now, this doesn't come as standard. You do have to add that in. Personally, I would definitely do it. It just makes the car look a lot neater and tidier and more up to date for the level of car that it is. and obviously it works pretty well. Anyone who's got kind of the A3 or anything like that will be used to this. Obviously we can do some pretty cool thing with the lights in this car. So if we go lights and vision, exterior lighting, obviously we can choose what we want to do with the lighting. Do we want entry, exit? When do we want those lights to activate? Background lighting. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this if you're watching this video. How bright do we want it? But obviously we can change the color on this. So if we go to colors, down here we get a lovely little menu of what color do we want. So let's just go for now, if we go for a kind of a red color there. Now if I just put these lights on, they should be on, and there you go. I don't know how well you can see this, guys, but you can see, hopefully, that you've got the red lights both there and on the door sills here. Obviously that extends across to the other side as well. If I change the lights color, if I can do it here, hopefully you can see everything. If I go to a yellow now, we can see that changes. If we go to a green, we can see that changes. Blues. So we can kind of experiment and play with what color we want. Say if we want nice purple lighting, there we go. It's done. It's really quite cool. Again, it's obviously an extra, or it's included with the S-Line, but it's pretty cool. Now, again, if we keep going through, we've done those three up here. So if we look at parking aids, again, how much do we want it to do and what do we want it to do with it? Do we want it to do it automatically? Do we want it to change the volume? Do we want the entertainment to be a little bit quieter when it happens or not? Again, if we go back again, driver assists, what driver assists are there? There's quite a lot. I'm not going to talk about these because they're mentioned in other videos, but again, going back, service and settings as you kind of expect here. Now, all of this to say, it's a really simple and easy system to use. If we look at media here, we can choose that. If we go to phone over here, we can change that. If we go to Android Auto, to the map, sorry, we can change that. It's really simple to use. I can scroll out, I can go in, I can go out, and it's pretty easy to use. So yeah, you won't have any issues with that. Now, as well, obviously this car comes with Android Auto and CarPlay, Apple CarPlay as standard. So if I plug my Android in, what happens? Let's take a look. Got the display, and my phone is now saying I can do it. So if we go up home, and then we go into Android Auto down here, there we go. We have got Android Auto. And obviously we can change, that's the menu, we can listen to some music. Now, obviously, music. Being a DJ, music is fairly important to me. This car does have the upgraded sound in it, so it's got the Bang & Olufsen sound in it, as you can see. Means you've got a speaker there, speakers there, speakers there, speakers in there. I don't believe it has a door speaker on either side. Oh, no, I tell a lie, there they are. And there it is over there. And again, speakers in the rear, and as well as a bit of a sub. So, obviously, this won't be a great test for you guys listening at home, but I can kind of give you a rundown of what's going on. So if we just pick this song as it's there, we can turn the volume up, and hopefully it will play. Oh, apparently not. Let's pick a new song. It might just be my phone. There you go. Of course, that is my phone messing things up for me. Again, we can go in here and we can change some details about this. Do we want more treble? Less treble? Do we want more bass? Less bass? And yeah, you can hear, I can hear that change. It's not, if I put that down there and that up there, I can hear the difference. I don't know if you guys can, but I can definitely tell you that changes. Just while that's there, give it a bit of bass to this. Again, do I want the sub really loud or not so loud? Where's the focus? What's the surrounds level? Let's just change that here. Do you want 3D? It's lots of options with the sound to change, which is pretty cool. Now we're going to get to the drop in this, so I'm going to kind of have a listen to what it sounds like. I'm going to turn it up quickly. And if I turn that sub up, That is extremely bassy. That is a lot of bass, and I mean a lot. There is a marked increase in the sound volume there. What does it sound like overall? Because it's not just about bass, obviously. The sound overall sounds well balanced. The highs are clear. And now for me, that's a big important part. Having clear highs that you can actually hear what's going on really makes a big difference. As well as having those lows that kind of make it there. The mids don't sound muddled or fuzzy. It sounds like a good system. Now, I haven't cranked this up as loud as it goes, and I don't think I'm going to ever need to. I have not driven this car and gone, wow, I wish this was louder. So that is a definite plus. So good job on the sound there. So again, we're now in some of the different menu settings for the car. If we go in here, display, how bright or dark do we want it? If I drop that down, how much does it change? So I want that full brightness. The MMI, how bright do I want that? Again, it's all these settings that you can change. Screen cleaning, wow, didn't even know what that was, but nice. It allows you to obviously clean the screen without it pressing 1,000,001 buttons. A pretty handy little feature. So it's all these extra little things that they thought about that just help make it better. So we've got options here. At the moment we're looking at Sport and Classic. Not sure what the massive difference is, to be fair with you. Do you really want to change the virtual cockpit? Let's have a look. So we were apparently in Sport. Let's drop that across to the normal one. The Classic. I can't really tell a massive difference, to be completely honest. It's a bit different, I suppose. I wouldn't say massively. Let's have another change. Let's change it back. Okay, so it gives you the little indicators. If I rev that, it moves up on the side. If I rev that here, does it? It does, but it doesn't have the little... So if I look on here, this is back in Sport. It kind of gives you that extra ring around. If we do some configuration, I wonder what this does to change. So we've got the distance travelled, date. What does that change? I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. So that changes in here what our settings are. So that, go to date, driving time, distance travelled, consumption, average speed, or nothing. Both are pretty cool. So we're going to put it back just to distance travelled for now. Again, these helpful little things. There's a lot of options, a lot of stuff to play with to get it to you, to get it to how you like it. Again, do we want map? What do we want with maps? What are settings for this? If we have a look at the media settings, additional online data, who knows? So if I forget about Android Auto for a second and just look at the car's inbuilt stuff, if I go to media, let's have a look. Switch to Android Auto or deactivate. Let's go to Android, to Audi MMI, sorry. So if we change this to source, I can connect an external device and go online or SD cards. I don't have any with me, so I'm just going to shuffle across to the radio. Again, a nice clear display here. It's not fuzzy, it's not muddled. If we just whack on radio 1, because you can't really go wrong with that. Well, you can very go wrong with it, but we've now got Sam Smith, so happy days. Again, it's a pretty clear display. There's not really much to go wrong with it. It's what you see is what you get, I suppose. It's not difficult. It's nice. I like it. I'm a big fan of it. So that is a very good job. Now, again, the touch screen here works fantastically. There's no real lag. If I press settings, it's press settings. If I press home, it's gone there. It's quick, it's responsive. Over here as well, it's nice and quick and responsive. It does what I tell it to do pretty easily. So yeah, good job. Now I just want to really quickly show you the outside of this car because it's pretty nice. Obviously you've got our lights here. If we just go and pop the indicators on, and this is what it looks like as we go into the car. If we pop our indicators on, I mean, and yes, joke here, they do have indicators as standard. So we've gone left here, so let's have a look at that rear light indicating. Again, this is what it kind of looks like if you're wandering around, you're looking in, you can't really see too much. But again, I've got indicators on the side. And front indicators are pretty nice. It's a very pleasing car to look at, this. If we jump back in, there's not much more to say about this car, to be honest with you guys. From a technology point of view, it works. It does what it needs to do really well. This display, this touchscreen display built in here is fantastic. This virtual dash is lovely as well. I mean, you do get, this is pretty much the display you'd get if you had it as normal. So it's not a bad display by any stretch of the imagination. Let's just turn that indicator off. The whole setup of that looks impressive to me, and it's really nice. One little cool thing to finish with, these lights, they are touch activated. There's no button there. It's just touch. That doesn't do anything, but touch. Oh, I've broken it now. Touch and touch. It just works nicely, and it's these small little additions that really improve the quality and the feel of this car. I really quickly want to mention this adaptive lane assist avoidance collision thingamajiggy. Now, what it does is it will say when it's working, it'll have nice little green lights there, and I can change the distance from far to close on this, which is quite cool. Now I know there was a way to do it on here as well, so let me try and find that quickly. Be under driver assist, distance warning, we have that on. It is lane departure warning, so it would tell me when it's going and how far I am. So if I try, and hopefully it will show you on here, guys. No, okay, I can't figure out how I did it previously, but never mind. It has that in there, and then again, same with the adaptive cruise control, adaptive cruise assist. It will tell you how close and far away you can be from the car, and it will just change all of that, and it's really good. It works, and I've had a play with it, and I'm very impressed. So all in all, guys, if you're looking at this car from a technical perspective or a sound perspective, I would definitely recommend it. The Bang & Olufsen system in it is really good, much better than I was expecting it to be. Even the standard one that I tested in the showroom was good, but this is another level. So yeah, if you're thinking about it from a technical point of view, from a person who works in IT and loves his tech, and is kind of a big part of my day-to-day, I would give you a recommendation on this one. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you on my next video. Cheers, bye.